I want to see if you can pick up on what I'm going to say before I say it. But I'll start by saying this. All the conditions are set for this to take place in the United States, in America, but also all over the world, but particularly here where we live. What am I talking about? And what I'm talking about is something that I didn't even think was possible, per se, until we had that so-called insurrection last year with your boy DJ Trump and what happened with that at the Capitol. Yeah, see, the left and right are more at odds now than any time in the history of this country since the South went against the North, if you know what I mean. But the conditions are ripe for certain things to happen. Think about this for a minute. Look at all of the chaos that ensued because of the court's decision to leave the ABs up to the states. Yeah, I'm talking about Roe v. Wade. Look at the turmoil, the chaos that decision caused. Very tumultuous time that we're living in indeed. So we had that insurrection. We had the Roe v. Wade. And of course, you know that blackouts are said to be coming. You know that food shortages are going to increase, supply chain shortages. I was at a car dealership the other day, just riding past and got a car wash or whatever at the dealership that I bought my car at. Free car washes there, for now anyway. And I noticed that all of the cars were parked in a certain way to give the illusion that the lot was full. So I was talking to the guy who is a salesman there, and he was saying, yeah, you know, there are not only chip shortages, but small part shortages, and that they're not getting in any new cars. Well, what does that do for the economy? If the car dealerships, not that I feel bad for them, but if they're not selling cars, then because nobody is buying them because they don't have the microchips in the parts, well, that's a rippling effect. Then we have diesel prices that's going through the roof, which is going to affect you at the grocery store. It's going to affect you in every area of your life because everything is based on shipping, right? So again, food shortages, blackouts. We had what happened at the Capitol, the Roe v. Wade. All the conditions are set for this to happen in the United States very, very soon. Let me give you another example and another reason why the seasoning is there for a meal that is very, very bitter. They're considering in the state of Texas ceding the United States. They want to put it up for a referendum and a vote in 2023, I believe. Now, this is not the first time Texas has mentioned this, but it seems like they're more serious than ever before because they're going to put it to a vote. Imagine that, Texas no longer being a part of the United States. I don't even know if constitutionally they can do that. I don't know if that'll be a declaration of WAR or not. I'm not sure if that's even possible. But let's say it is possible. Think about the chaos and the turmoil that will cause. And it seems to me that Texas could probably function all on its own. I mean, the economy is always, well, usually better in Texas than anywhere else. Of course, they have their armies. What I mean by armies, their National Guard. So technically, maybe Texas could survive all on its own. But what would that look like? What kind of turmoil would that cause? I give you another scenario. What if Trump gets arrested for what happened? What if that happens? What would that do for the tension that's already on the right and the left? You see how thick the tension is in this country? And we're not even talking about, you know, police in certain urban communities, certain tensions with ethnicities. We're not going to even talk about that. We don't even have to go on that one. Just think about all of the social, political chaos and turmoil. Think about how angry people are. Think about the rights of, owners with the self-protection devices. This is the tube. I got to be sensitive, man. Think about all of that chaos that's involved in that. You know, you got the blue states who don't want you to be able to protect yourself, and the red states that want you to be able to protect yourself. The things that happen at schools. I mean, There has never been a time in my lifetime that I can remember that there was such a division. And usually when there's a division like this, in other countries anyway, it's like you're sitting on top of a powder keg, and only so much time before that things go boom. But we'll see. All I'm saying is that these conditions are being set up. These conditions are ripe for certain things to happen in America. Can you feel the tension? Can you feel the intensity? I can. I've noticed this. And those who are empathic like myself and sensitive like myself, maybe you felt the same thing too. But it seems like we are living in a whole new world since 2020. Things seem to just have gone downhill ever since 2020. At first I said this is the roaring 20s, like in the 1920s, but this is the raging 20s, man. I mean, goodness gracious, I haven't felt so much tension like this. And the last time I think there was tension like this was probably in the 1960s. But this is set up to be worse than that. I mean, what's going to happen at these Republican and Democratic conventions? What's going to happen at the next election? Will Trump be able to run? People still want Joe Biden. Is there still confidence in Sleepy Joe, who seems to be really having some mental issues? Will Kamala step up and take over the reins? It's a lot going on. This is a very uncertain time in this country. Political chaos and turmoil, social chaos and turmoil. Again, possible food shortages, blackouts. The economy is in the dumps. They're trying to say, oh, no, it's not a recession. But when food and gas prices are as high as they are, what do you mean it's not a recession? What do you mean? All you have to do is go to the grocery store and see how prices of a lot of things have doubled. All you have to do is go to the gas station and realize how much it takes to fill up. So then the question is, how much can people take? You have people not wanting to work anymore, people not participating in the economy. Never before in my lifetime have I seen so many help wanted signs for jobs. Think about that for a minute. Now, I don't know where people are getting their money from. I have no clue where they're getting their money from. But it seems like every industry, every organization or agency that employs people are in an all-time record shortage. Police departments, shortages there. You know what that could mean? If there is chaos that disrupts not only police departments, but fire departments, state workers, post office workers. There are shortages everywhere, even shortages in the trucking industry. Everywhere you look, shortages. Businesses have to close early because they just don't have the staff to cover. Now, where are all the people at that were working in 2018 and 2019? I have no clue. But one thing I do know, it is not business as usual. This place, this country has changed dramatically and is set to get worse. Now, I don't like to be the bearer of bad news per se, but news is news, and it's not always good. And the news is that we are living in a time like never before in the history of this nation. What are you going to do? Again, the conditions are ripe. The conditions are set for this to happen. What am I talking about? I'm talking about civil war. Yeah, it's been talk about that. It's been a lot of talk about that. So right now that exists in the American psyche. Talk about such a thing. Cities, states, towns in an upheaval, in an uproar because of all the things that are happening. Is it possible? Again, it was a time when I didn't think it was possible. Then I saw the so-called insurrection on Capitol Hill. And I'm not saying it's the right or the left. I'm saying it's both. Both. Whatever side of the fence that you are on, there's more tension between those two ideologies than ever before. Breaking it down to religious ideologies, political, social, all of these things coming at one time. Roe v. Wade, a powder keg, man. Now, here's the thing. People always ask for solutions. I can't change the world. I'm just reporting on it. But I tell you this. Here's my motto. Here's my motto right here. Be prepared, not scared. What else can I say?